Welcome back, everybody, to the BD1P Binding of Isaac modded Fiendfolio series. Today is going to be the Pokey-mans challenge with Fiendfolio and all of the other team compliance cut monster packs turned on. I kind of want to see how different it makes this challenge play out. If there's like some secret overpowered Fiendfolio enemy hiding in the dark or some kind of like crazy compliance cut monster there as well. But we're going to Isaac, it looks like. Oh, what a fantastic room to walk into here first. But it's weird going back to these older challenges, because I've often forgot like what a lot of them do. If it wasn't for the Nuzlocke 2 years ago, I would probably have zero knowledge of what the, it's not that bad, of what the rebirth and original afterbirth challenges do, because they're just that far removed from like my mind at this point. Hold on. Okay, well, it's a great, oh, they just spawn monsters now? See, this is what I'm talking about. I guess that just throwing the ball itself, just spawns a random monster. Okay. See, I thought you had to like actually capture the monster, and that was the whole gimmick, but it looks like, no, just throwing the ball seems to be enough for these people. And I think, is charming then permanent as well? I thought there was something with how charming worked in this challenge. I really do forget, though. It has been sincerely that long since I've played this challenge of all challenges. I think with that Nuzlocke 2 years ago we did with everybody else, that I lost my afterbirth challenges by getting, I think someone donated like 20 bucks and said do ultra hard first, and we did ultra hard, picked up an item, and our first item was Isaac's heart. We made it, it's all coming back to me now. We made it down to the depths, and then I think we got Bob's brain. It was something just like a very, very awful turn of events, but hey, it doesn't matter. We're here now, and we hopefully should win this one, but I obviously can't make many promises. But for your question for today, you know, circling all the way back around to my normal beginnings here, or should I say humble beginnings, because your question is going to be, what did you think of this year's Minecraft Live? Because I've got some opinions about that, man. I know, dude who plays, you know, videos and video games for a living has opinion. It's a crazy thought, but I don't know. I think that, like, if you didn't watch it, they really didn't do anything. They introduced, that's interesting, they introduced bamboo wood variants, so you can now craft bamboo into boats and planks and all that kind of stuff. You can now hang signs with chains, and then they also introduced one more thing, and I think that was camels, and then they also added, like, interactable bookshelves. You can put books on those bookshelves, and it has like redstone comparator compatibility and things like that. But suffice to say, it really was not much. It was new wood, different bookshelves, new rideable mob, and that was really it. I think this is a definitely improvement over last year's, where they promised a whole bunch of features they couldn't deliver on. But I don't know if they should have hosted a Minecraft Live just yet. Because personally, I think if you don't really have anything to show off that's truly going to excite players beyond like camels, maybe wait. Because when it ended, I was like, they're ending this one segment, they're going to do more. But the segment about Minecraft Legends, like a new spin-off game they're making, I think took up more time than the presentation about, you know, the main game did. Which to me, if your presentation about your side game takes up longer than your 1.2 update does, you might want to hold off. Now again, I think it's going to pay off to do it this way, because they promised, you know, so much stuff last update, fireflies, birch forests, and these big biome improvements, but then ultimately could not deliver, right? That sucks, because, you know, when a feature someone's really excited for gets cut, it's much worse than a feature they were excited for never really being planned to be in the game in the first place. And I think the idea of holding back, it's beneficial for sure, but it makes the presentation have less weight, and it makes people less excited for future content. My headphone's falling out, sorry. I think the reason that in the past, Minecraft is kind of like dipped in popularity was the updates were just not interesting. I think around it was like 1.8 is when the game started losing its popularity again. And that was like when the color update was going to happen soon. You had the color updates, you had the B update. Like there wasn't much happening in the... I have no idea what hit me there. But I guess I don't really need to have a devil deal right now, so that's fine, sure. Maybe it's so you don't get devil deals, you take damage at the end of that fight. I was maybe also just not like paying attention. But they're gonna definitely lose a lot of popularity soon. With the height of popular Minecraft content groomers, I mean creators like Dream and everybody else like starting to not post as much and their content not getting that many views, accompanied by the updates now becoming or regressing back into lamer territory, in my opinion, I think the game is going to start dipping again in popularity. I still think the game is great. In fact, I just started recently a live stream series of me playing the mod RL Craft for the first time with a couple of my friends, and I haven't started it yet. It's gonna happen tomorrow for me, but a long time ago for you guys, and it is gonna be fun. I've never played a mod pack like that before, so it's gonna be a brand new experience for me. But I just feel like I would rather prefer, as I said a while ago in a couple streak videos ago, if they would increase their development time to like 1.5 years per update and then reveal and add more stuff when they're ready. That to me would be a much more viable business model. Because at that point, you're not getting anybody excited for things that won't happen, and you also have more to show off when new things are around. That is a quick shot. That to me is kind of like, throw your ball out some, the best of both worlds scenario there. Now again, I'm not a game dev, I don't know marketing, all I know is play video game, hit button, but I think just being a consumer and a creator for gaming content, I can tell you what excites people and what doesn't. And that Minecraft Live wasn't like a big disappointment and everybody hated it, but it was definitely a letdown in more ways than one, I think. Hey, it's Bertrand as a boss, pretty much. I'm gonna pop this. You don't shoot any tears, but I just don't want to... I guess you do kind of shoot tears. I also just want to get this card. Oh, you do. I was wrong. It's my second time ever fighting this boss, the other time being in the Gauntlet Challenge. You know what? I'll get a bomb on you. That did a lot of damage, holy shit. We're kind of flying through, it feels like, right now, too, because there isn't any, as far as I know, item rooms to go to, so all we can do really is fly on through. I'd like to get, like, maybe some more money for a shop and then get a secondary battery charge for my active item in that shop. Well, we do get devil deals. Oh, well, that changes things. I don't know why we didn't get one on the first floor. I don't know what hit me at the very last frame of that, but it was quite sad. Can you give me a good thing? Well, you're paying me forward. It's an investment, so I'll take it. You know your stuff, kid. That's a hermit card for teleporting to a shop immediately next floor. I want to get rid of this. I don't want to... Oh my god, dude. The investments are crazy right now. You gotta drop me something, brother. Dude, what? Every single fire had a drop in this room. I miss playing normal mode, man. Also, that sounds pretty good, too, for us. I'll go one more. All right, well, we are safely not going to be paying that man out, it looks like. I can teleport back and get some more HP here, not a big deal. Another ball charge as well. The final heart being down here. And I guess we can walk into our shop and see what's popping in here. Just a regular battery, I'm okay. Let's move on down and then pop the hermit card and see where life takes us, and then we'll see what's happening in the future of this run. I'm not really sure where we're going with this one right now. Mainly because we really only have... Well, now we have brimstone, so we're going to be doing a lot more damage, I would assume at least. Goodbye, friend. And that wasn't that bad of a mini-boss fight. Hopefully we're close to our actual boss fight. It might just be straight down. However, going back to our Minecraft topic here, I don't know. I still like the game, and I think it is mostly being carried once again by community content for what seems to be another lull. The last big update, I mean, Caves and Cliffs was amazing. I'm not going to deny that. I can't forget Caves and Cliffs exist now, because that was an incredible update, and the Nether update as well. another incredible update to the game that revitalized a lot of its boring mechanics. But outside of those two, and the wild update being split into multiple parts, I'm just a little, I'm skeptical. I don't know why I say I'm skeptic. I'm skeptical. I'm a little bit worried that because of the big backlash to them not really adding everything as promised, they're gonna start reeling back in the updates when what they should be doing is taking more time to develop them and release bigger ones. I guess we can just take this. It's not a big deal. And then we can throw the ball and keep moving on down. But again, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, so who really cares what I say, right? The only real thing that I wish would change in their whole cycle of making games and stuff is I just wish they wouldn't, it's gonna sound weird, they wouldn't listen to the community so much. And they really don't, but when it comes to the feedback, like, on what they should and shouldn't add, players of a game don't know what makes a game good. Game developers knows what makes a game good. Whenever I see people talking about, like, well, they should add another dragon type in the game because we already have the Ender Dragon. Another dragon would not fit in Minecraft. Like, there's a reason that these things are mods, right? You can't add every single thing you want and have the game still, it would be a different game by that point. And when the mob votes happen and the community votes on what mob they want, even that's a bit of a stretch. What do the devs think would fit most for Minecraft? I wish they would just do what they think is the best, because we all voted for the Sniffer, and the Sniffer won the mob vote. I'm glad it did. I voted for the Sniffer. I think it's a good idea for a mob. But if the devs for some reason thought like, oh, we could do so much more with the Rascal, I wish they would just do the Rascal then. Because what the community perceives as cool is also what the community is going to forget about within a week of the game being out. It's just how the cycle seems to go with this kind of stuff. So I just kind of wish that, yes, I like community interaction with the mob votes, but I also wish they would make the updates geared around what they think would make the game better. Because everybody was asking for a Caves update forever, and the Caves update did make the game severely better. I'm not denying that. It was well needed. But then players asked for an End update. Okay. We already got one, you know, 1.9 was the End in Combat update. If the End got an update, you know, to add, you know, new mobs and new biomes or whatever, how often would you go and explore that? And be realistic here. Sure, I'll take this. If you think you would genuinely go and explore it more, that's great. But how often do you spend exploring the I can't speak. I've been talking for like 4 hours today. So I apologize. But how often do you go and just explore the nether for fun? You still mainly go there to go to a fortress, go to a bastion, get some ancient debris, and that's pretty much it. You're never exploring for fun because it's treacherous to explore in there. And the End is also has the whole void situation. It's pretty treacherous as well. I just think that if there really was an End update to add more stuff to the End, what purpose would it serve in the game? The End cities already give you great loot and have rewards for exploring them, shulker boxes and elytra. What more could you want them to add to the End in specific to give it an update? Yeah, it's not the most fleshed out part of the game, but it's also not supposed to be a part of the game you revisit very often. It's meant for builds, and that's pretty much it. If you want to explore stuff, that's the overworld you go to. I feel like the community looks at the game and examines every aspect of the same importance. Like, oh, the overworld, nether, and End are equally important. And that's just not true. It's not true. Like, the overworld is infinitely more important than everything else. It's where you normally will make your base because you can sleep there. And mobs spawn naturally there. The End is the least important dimension, and even it still has a decent amount of stuff going for it. Enderman farms for ender pearls, shulker boxes again. There's enough there already. I really don't think that updating the End would do much to the game at all. The slow parts of the game would still feel slow. The End is called the End for a reason. It's the final progression point in the game. Unless you're doing, like, you know, stuff in the deep dark or stuff in the villages or the pillager raids and things like that. So again, updating the end wouldn't make your enjoyment of the game better because you spend 90% of your time, in fact, all of your time in the early game, in the overworld nether. It really, it wouldn't make much sense in my eyes. This is coming from a guy, like, I think that the nether still needs to be perked up more. I think the nether is still, you know, a pain to get through. I don't think Striders fixed the lava lake issue. I don't think that Warped Forest fixed the Enderman issue. I don't think that Bastions, you know, Bastions helped a lot, but I don't think they fixed, like, you know, the lack of variety and structures in the nether. I don't think it did anything for it. But I'm also the guy who thinks that, you know, as it is now, I'd rather take more updates to the overworld than to the nether again. I would much more appreciate that, I think. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the end getting an update would change things, but I don't even think the game needs like a new dimension. I don't think you should be adding, you know, tons and tons of stuff onto the game at that kind of scale when there are still major flaws with the game's overworld and existing dimensions. So no, I don't. The community's asking for a deep dark dimension because there's a big old portal in the middle of the deep dark. Yeah, it'd be cool, but you know, it would not make the overworld much better. It would just, it would add lore, and maybe if you made it so like the skulk is coming through that portal, like, you could do something with that, I guess, but it's not going to solve the core issues with the game and its progression. You got to start at the overworld and then work your way out. Once the overworld becomes, you know, full enough, or I guess in most people's eyes perfect, then you can start adding more dimensions and adding more, you know, huge content like that. I think the 1.2 update should be a miscellaneous update. It should just add a bunch of stuff that's missing from the game, like what they already showed, the bamboo wood. I think they're in the right direction with this. I think 1.2, like, when it finally gets a name, should be called the miscellaneous update. You take every aspect of the game and add or fix the issues with it on a minor scale. Those all together, that would buff the game up so much. If you were to take, like, okay, we're gonna change, you know, redstone can now push cauldrons. Redstones, you know, can do this. Potions can now be made inside of, because like Java still has the issue where tipped arrows are locked behind the dragon fight. You know, you can make potions and cauldrons now in Java Edition. You can, you know, you can push update blocks with pistons now in Redstone. Bamboo has its own wood type now. You know, you can strip wood with this fashion. You could do this with wood, or this with wood. The deserts now have a new structure. If you just made every aspect of the game better on a minor scale, you know how great of an update that would be for 1.2? And how that would almost single-handedly revitalize the entire game and put you closer to being able to add in new dimensions and fix up, you know, other issues inside of the nether and things like that. You know how great that would be? 1.2 should be the misc update. And it should add one thing to every aspect of the game. I'm so sorry, I still can't talk. You know when you open up your inventory in Minecraft in the creative mode, and in the menu, there's tabs? Like, there's like the block tab, the redstone tab, the sword tab, and things like that. Here's an idea. You take those at surface value as the core aspects of the game. Combat, redstone, building, decoration, that kind of stuff, right? And you take each of those, you look at it top down, and you go, what's the issue with this part of the game? And once you pinpoint that, get me out of this room. And once you pinpoint that, you fix the major or the most flawed aspect of that part of the game, and that's your 1.2 update. You already got decorations fixed with the bamboo stuff. That helps out a lot, making bamboo more useful, ties in the jungle biome to the rest of the game some more. Great idea. Now how about you look at redstone? Well, the big thing with redstone is that you can't push blocks that get updates, like cauldrons and things like that. Okay, you add that in. You make, you know, cauldrons with comparators. I don't know if they're functional or not right now, but either if they aren't, you make cauldrons and comparators compatible. And then that allows for so many more machines because you have the dripstone blocks that drip water into cauldrons. You can now use moving things and that cauldron mechanic with comparators to add some cool new redstone builds. And then you look at the combat stuff. What can we fix in the combat thing? Well, you know, players complain about the fact that you can't hit just one enemy with a sword. If you're in the nether trying to fight a blaze and a pigman walks by and you hit the blaze, well, that natural inbuilt sweeping edge on your sword hits the pigman and then everyone's mad at you. So why don't you toggle off the sweeping edge, and make it just an enchantment thing only? Or what if you add a new weapon to the game? We haven't had a new melee weapon since, you know, swords and axes were buffed up. What if there's like a mix between like a flail, like it's a range but also a melee thing? Obviously flails don't really fit in the game, but you catch my drift there. Or you add like a new combat effect like bleeding, where if an enemy has a bleeding effect, they take double damage or something like that. I don't know. I mean, there's so many ways you could buff up, fix, and add on new things to the existing mechanics that would make it feel so much more fleshed out, and therefore make the 1.2, which should be a big update, pretty influential to the game. Just my 2 cents. Again, I am a nobody who plays video games, but I still think from a player's perspective that the game definitely needs more, and they really aren't doing a lot to buff out those parts of the game. Again, like, they're going in the right direction. Like the camels make deserts more interesting. The bamboo becoming an actual wood variant makes bamboo obviously way more useful and helps tie that biome into the right, because previously bamboo was only used for scaffolding, so there really was no reason to go. I should throw my balls more. There really was no reason to go. That's huge. Oh, we got a boss from that. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. But there wasn't any reason to actively, and that boss is dead, go to bamboo biomes. I mean, it was kind of just like a nuisance to walk through, but now you can make rafts, you can make cool stuff with it. It's a step in the right direction, and maybe they are doing what I'm talking about. Maybe they're going to go back through and they're going to add stuff onto every aspect of the game, but we won't know until they're ready to show it off. I don't think, if they don't even have a name for the update yet, why bother doing a presentation? You have no theme, you have no name, you have nothing ready for it, so why bother? It was just kind of like everyone is in a state of like, oh, that was it, huh? Like, there's a new spin-off game coming. That's kind of neat, but I didn't really find a drive to ever play Minecraft Dungeons, so I'm not going to actually end up playing Legends, I don't think, because I don't care about Minecraft as like a franchise. I like it as a game, but as a separate whole thing, I think it doesn't have this spin-off material. Like, how would you phrase this? What I'm trying to say right here, it doesn't have the ability to be spun off into a bunch of stuff, right? Like, it's interesting as a game, but it's not franchisable. Oh, we are totally dead. I don't know this boss's patterns. Oh, I thought that thing died, but broken modem stopped. Well, we made it decently far. I thought that thing died to the beams of light that Conquest shot, but it looks like what happened there with broken modem stopped it from moving. But that's fine. I mean, there was some pretty interesting enemies we got here, but nothing to really carry us through. I was playing wrong. I should have been throwing the ball more, gunning for battery charges, things of that nature. But hey, if you enjoyed the run of my commentary, a like and a comment goes a long way for a small channel like mine. In the meantime, though, I have been BD1P. Peace out, and goodbye.